So, it's the intermediate women's 8 event, the bridge, the inaugural new event this year. It's Oxford Brookes A versus Cambridge University. It's an alternative boat race of sorts in this semi-final at Henley Royal Regatta. Who's making an early showing down the island? They have gone off with a ferocity in both crews.
Yeah, nothing to hold back for here now. Semi-finals day, it's everything to play for. Both crews have absolutely fired out there, and like you said, these two universities have been really doing a great job in recent years, and it's just a fantastic lineup we get to watch here.
They have programs that have so much experience. They know physiologically how to develop the athletes. To some extent, of course, for Cambridge, the real focus is always the boat race, and sometimes it's been much harder to be able to peak again at Henley Royal Regatta. But we've seen with Cambridge, the system's so strong, and this year they've really gone for it. We saw the incredible counterparts racing in the Grand against Netherlands and only just missing out. And here we have this year's boat race crew. They have stayed together. We just have Imogen Grant in at 7 because they wanted to race again. They wanted to race with the best, and they are already being put under pressure though by Oxford Brookes.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that Oxford have gone out here hard. That's how they love to race. They've got such a big system. They're quite often racing each other 8 side by side over at Wallingford in Oxford. So I'm not surprised that they've gone out here and tried to rattle Cambridge. And like you said, I spoke briefly to Matilda Horn, the coach of this crew for Cambridge. Exactly that. It can be really tough to get up for an event again when the peak of your season is April. But they feel like they've had a great go at this, and it's been difficult. They've had a lot of college rowing to do. Obviously their student commitments, that's all finished now, and there seems to be an excitement and a pressure off feeling. I watched this Cambridge boat just earlier, and really excited, geeing up the crowd that they're absolutely up for this race.
I mean, they've had exams. Both crews will have had exams. They've had the May balls in the Cambridge crew. Not too many, hopefully, of that. And they've been training hard for this event. But of course, we've got doubling up happening in the Cambridge crew. We've got Imogen Grant, who is racing her single, and also the American Olympian Claire Collins, who is racing in a pair. So that is tough because they've had 2 races yesterday. And you know, Imogen, my goodness, what a phenomenal athlete, Olympic champion in the lightweight double, who in between that has been popping off to work as a doctor. And so, you know, that could be tough, that they've got slightly more tired legs in the Cambridge crew, and they're going to have to dig in now.
Yeah, I'm looking at these times from yesterday. Both these crews raced. The race was still certainly on at the halfway point. They posted Brookes was a second quicker to the barrier, but actually Cambridge was then a couple seconds quicker to Forley. So it looks like their move on to pace. This is something they do, you know, after the start. Their bread and butter is having to go onto a pace which is going to take them 15-16 minutes down the course. So look for Cambridge to come back here in this second sort of 500 of this race.
So they are racing with that style in the Cambridge crew, just slightly longer, slightly lower rate, pacey, punchy style of Oxford Brookes that has just nipped them ahead. But they have so much experience. When they're training for the boat race, they did a lot of different fixtures, so they know, and they always talk through the scenarios of what you do if you're up, what you do if you're alongside, what you do if you're down. And of course they're used to the 2-horse racing because that's what the boat race is all about, and so they will be digging in. They have a fantastic cox, Jack Nicholas, who has so much style about how he coxes. They love being coxed by him. He has a different experience. He actually hasn't been coxing for that long, but actually had experience e-racing. He was competitive in lots of other ways, and he brought something fresh to the crew in the boat race. And the question is, can he bring something fresh and new as they start to claw back now on Oxford Brookes? And they are really overlapping. They're going to start in the middle of this course now to want to drive back, and they are making gains.
Yeah, this is where they want to be, and like you said with Cambridge, this is a boat that's also happy being down. They don't need to lead from the start. It's not going to worry them, it's not going to get to them. Brookes did their best to do that, but as you can see now, it definitely looks like they're moving back. But again, Brookes aren't just going to let this happen. Three of the ladies in that Brookes boat were returning from a Remenham win last year, so plenty of experience there. Coach Hugo Sanders has been with them all year, and he even himself found time to try and qualify for the Diamonds earlier. Got quite close, but not.
they've got level, I think. This race is on now. Both crews do loads of side-by-side training. The Cambridge crew have said, we are not happy sitting down there. And the question now is, when Oxford Brookes have absorbed that, will they then push on? How much of the crews put in? It becomes a test of physiology. It becomes a test of your winter training. It becomes a test of belief in your program, belief in what the coxes are telling you. Belief is high in the Cambridge program. They've had unbelievable results. There's a real sense of the system that works, that is fun to be in, and that makes sure that these athletes, you know, enjoy and flourish as students, as rowers. You know, they're part of that Cambridge family now, just as the Oxford Brookes girls will feel part of the history that Oxford Brookes make at this event. So it is game on now, and we'll see what have they got left in the final part of the course.
Yeah, you can't be more right there. Success breeds success, and that's what Cambridge have been doing year after year after year. At this point now, both of these crews, they haven't got here by accident. They haven't got here without doing the mileage, and that's where it really counts, when you start to really hurt the legs. When physically you're struggling, you get to fall back on your processes, and that's what time in the boat, time together, those miles and miles and miles do. And we can just see here just a second warning from the umpire there for Brookes, potentially just pushing out, whether that's tactical or to do with some of these gusts on the water, but it's so tight right now, I wouldn't want to call it.
You can see them levering back. I think Oxford Brookes have started to take the rate up, and the question is, can Cambridge respond? We can see that levering back from Allegra O'Sullivan in the bow of the Oxford Brookes crew. My goodness, the crowds are going crazy. We see a Cambridge Blazers there. We can see Oxford Brookes stripy Blazers there as well. Everyone is at the bank side here. They've got so much support. They are going toe-to-toe. We still don't know who's going to come out on top. They are throwing everything in. Cambridge are now really lifting their rate too. It is neck and neck all the way. Every stroke counts on this. It is going to go to the wire. We can see Katie Hempson in the bow, who is levering away. She needs to keep those bows up, as does Allegra O'Sullivan. The steering is difficult. They are so close together. They are throwing everything in. They are exhausted, but need to take the rate up and up again. And it is Oxford Brookes who just sneak across the line.
Absolutely incredible. That's one of the closest races I think we've seen today, or even this week. Unbelievable effort from both crews there.
Wow, that was a tough race. Both those crews have absolutely given everything and a little bit more. There's no one trying to make that look as if it didn't hurt.
No, none of that with a race that's that close.
So Gwyn Batten declares that race has completed, and there are no questions about the result. It is Oxford Brookes who beat Cambridge University.